This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Today I want to share my experience with the device, what I like and what I don't like, and while it is very similar to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, this year Apple may have finally created the perfect iPhone. Well, almost perfect. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. How you guys doing? Lots to talk about with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Is the capture button a gimmick? What do I think of the size increase? Is this device even worth it without Apple Intelligence? Is battery life actually that good? And also this video is sponsored by MOFT, but more about them later. The design this year has a slight size increase over the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but it's a subtle change. The 16.9-inch Super Retina XDR display is the largest screen ever on an iPhone. And it also has the thinnest bezels on an iPhone. They're pretty thin. And I'm trying not to make this a comparison video to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but here's a side-by-side. It doesn't dwarf it in size, it's obviously pretty similar. It does look bigger. The titanium frame has a new refined micro-blasted finish. It's premium, extremely durable, and to add to that, there's a new generation of ceramic shield on the front glass. Apparently it's the toughest glass on any smartphone. And once again, natural titanium to me is the best color of the year. And while I think the other colors are fine, I still think natural titanium takes the king. One new design element that we did get this year is the all-new camera capture. It's not a button, don't call it that. While the button, camera capture, looks nice, I haven't quite really figured out its purpose yet. Apple's website says it's a faster way to access video tools, but personally being an iPhone user for nearly 14 years now, maybe even more, I just don't feel like I've ever desired to have a quicker way to pull out the camera. It's right on the lock screen, or I can use it as a shortcut with the action button, or I can slide down and get to it through Control Center. I just feel like it's really quick already. The button placement also really does feel awkward, and compared to the touchscreen, it's just not as intuitive, it's not as easy to use. So if you were thinking about getting it just for the capture button and that experience, you already have it even on an older iPhone, not even the 15 Pro Max, you just won't have the button. There's no additional tools or anything like that. It's just an added button, to be honest. Honestly, since testing it like first week that I had it, I haven't really used it. I haven't found it useful at all. It's probably something that I'm honestly gonna forget about. Now, battery life has been incredible. To me, it's been the best experience I've had on an iPhone really ever. And I would say it's a significant upgrade to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Certainly to the iPhone 14 Pro that I just had a ton of issues with. Now, I'm a pretty heavy user. I use a lot of social media. I use my camera a lot. I create a lot of content. And typically what I've seen is I get to about 6.5 on screen time throughout the whole day, and maybe 2.5, 3 hours of inactive time, which I think is really good. But every night, right before I go to bed, I put it on the charger, and I'm in between like 18, 19%, all the way to like 26% by the end of day. And so if I really wanted to push it, I could probably get to like 7 hours, 30 minutes maybe of screen on time. So for me, battery is perfect. And speaking of perfect, meet the MOFT snap case made by MOFT. This is the leather case Apple should have made for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. The leather feels incredible. Soft, comfortable, and high quality. It's designed with precise buttons for the action button, volume buttons, and power button, making them super satisfying to click. Plus, it's incredibly thin, yet offers top-tier protection with a raised camera bump, edge protection, and a soft microfiber lining inside of the case. It's MagSafe compatible too, so all of your current accessories will work seamlessly. The snap case also comes in 5 stunning colors, and personally, I am loving the Misty Cove color. I think that one is just perfect for me. It's affordable, and it comes in all iPhone 16 model sizes. And a really good accessory to tag along with this is the invisible tripod wallet. It's a sleek, minimal 3-in-1 accessory that works as a tripod, stand, and wallet. It snaps right onto your iPhone through MagSafe, fits 2 cards, and is great for creators or anyone that's on the go. To make it a tripod, all you have to do is simply unfold, snap it into place where you'd like, and hit record. This gives me awesome close-ups of the phones and accessories that I review, and some shots that I've done throughout this video, I've been using this tripod. If you want to check it out, the link is in the video's description and in the pinned comment below. Thanks MOFT for sponsoring today's video. Now onto performance. The A18 Pro chip is pretty solid. No overheating, no apps or bug issues, and the apps that I mainly use are performing as expected. I will say kind of the big push of Apple with the A18 Pro chip is the fact that this was built with Apple Intelligence in mind, and on launch day, the phone did not have Apple Intelligence, and we don't quite know exactly when we're going to get it. Now, I do have it on iOS 18.1 beta, which is great, so it's still running fine in that sense, but even that version of Apple Intelligence doesn't have everything that Apple has promised from WWDC. So we're waiting for a lot that is promised that we could potentially never get. And so for me, performance is great. I don't really care, I'm not a benchmarks guy, but I want to see what Apple Intelligence can bring and what they want to do with that. And so I'm kind of hesitant to even talk about Apple Intelligence because it's not even out. I do have a video on it if you want to see what's coming up with some of the writing tools and just some of the little stuff in Apple Intelligence that we've seen so far. But overall, Image Playground and ChatGPT integration, it's not even here yet, so we're all just holding our breath. And it's a really disappointing rollout from Apple. Their marketing and promo was all about Apple Intelligence, and I feel like this is just a huge miss from Apple. And it's really why this phone is just nearly perfect. I feel like if they could have delivered that, a lot of people would be really hyped about it, but it's kind of not much different from the iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's also going to be getting Apple Intelligence. Now, for me, some of the best updates are in the camera, and especially with their ultra-wide lens. So now it has a 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and the pictures just look amazing. So just check out this example I did of the iPhone 16. I took a couple pictures of it, and it's just great how close in you can pull in your subject, how sharp it looks, and playing around with the new photographic styles, you can really create a beautiful image more than you could before. Now, here's some of my best shots. I still prefer the 5x optical zoom for shooting photos. I just like to get it a little bit closer in, be further out, and take really nice photos in max raw. That's kind of what you're seeing on the screen right now. And I still think Apple needs to improve in their low light photography as well as their low light video. I took this photo kind of at sunrise and it looks really good. You can see kind of like a house and the moon, and that looks nice, but when you zoom in like 25x, it just looks terrible still. They need to get a little bit better with that. And then also with video, you can still see a pretty bad lens glare in certain lighting conditions. But overall, video recording is great, and this entire video is being recorded on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, so that's fantastic. It's just a great phone for that. And recording in ultra wide is also way better as well. And something really fun to play around with, something that I think would be great for like when I go on vacation sometime next year, to play around with shooting 4K in slow-mo, so 4K at 120 FPS, and just get some really cool nature shots or river water flowing, something like that that really just can display all of how good the slow-mo looks. I do hope that they increase the zoom on that. I'd like to see it at 5x optical zoom. I tried to get a cool shot of a bird, and it just doesn't look as good as I was hoping in my mind. Now, a quick little word about photographic styles. It's really cool. It does give you more creative leverage of what you can do in the Photos app, but honestly, I prefer the old way of editing a photo, and I use the Photos app to edit all my photos pretty much online outside of like YouTube thumbnails and things that I want to make the background a little bit more blurry, but I still prefer the old way. I just go into the photo, edit one of my photos that I take in RAW, I go to edit it, I just put on the auto so that it kind of lightens up the photo, and I change the style to dramatic. And if you're curious and want to know how that's really it, that's all I do to edit my photos. Photographic styles is fun, but for that, I've been using the filter of natural. I think that's, to me, the best looking one. A couple other things worth mentioning: sound quality of the device, projecting music and video. The quality is just incredible. Apple always nails it. Here's a quick test. haptics do feel a little bit lighter this year. I don't know if it maybe an iOS kind of thing that needs updated, but haptics, I felt like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot they were on. And for video recording, there is a new feature where you can update the sound after the fact called Audio Mix. You have 4 different options. So you get standard, in-frame, studio, and cinematic. And really quick, we can just see how each one sounds. Buy your mom an iPhone. 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 And to be honest, I doubt I'll ever use this feature. I use a microphone for recording videos that's attached to my iPhone via USB-C, but maybe if I'm in a jam, I can use this to record better audio. Now, should you upgrade? If you already have the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I don't think you should upgrade. It's not worth it. You're already going to be getting Apple Intelligence. You don't really need the capture button because you have the camera. And to be honest, to throw out $1,200 for pretty much the same exact thing, outside of a little bit nicer of a display, a little bit bigger of a phone, and I will say battery is really nice, but even that, I don't know if it's worth it. Now, I will say where you get into upgrade territory is if you have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which I think could be a really good upgrade for someone like that, or the iPhone 12 Pro Max or iPhone 11 Pro Max. So those kind of phones, if it's been like 3 years since you upgraded your phone, I feel confident in saying this is going to be a really good iPhone for you. And if you can find a good carrier deal, then why not? It's going to be a fantastic upgrade. If you can find it cheaper, even better. Let me know in the comments if you got the iPhone 16 Pro Max and what your experience has been like. As always, guys, thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you on the next video.